you just hit level 80 and found out that fractals are a good place to earn gold, but the whole theme seems a bit too complicated with Agony resistant ascended gear? Then let me help you out. In this video I will explain how to start your fractal journey up to level 100, level 25 first, but that should get you started on doing tier 1 fractals daily and give you the knowledge to go to tier 4. The first thing we need to do is check out the LFG tool. Press Y to open it. Here you can see all of these categories for all the types of activities, including Fractals of the Mists, strike missions, raids, and so on. We will click on the Fractals of the Mists category and select the subcategory of Initiate levels 1 to 25. And if you're like me, you usually can wait for a group to pop up with the fractals that you need. If you don't know which ones you need for the day, in the Daily Achievements tab you can select the fractal category and see which ones are daily, and join the groups that have them. Most people put only the number of the fractals that are required for the daily chests in the group name, but are some who write T1 daily or T1 daily plus Rex. Next up is the actual fractals. Each has specific mechanics that need to be completed and will take way too long to explain them in one video, but they are very easy in the lower tiers, and because you need to advance through all of them to get to tier 2, you will learn 90% of the mechanics by actually doing the fractals. In order to open tier 2 fractals, you need to get your personal fractal level to 21, and by the time you get to 20, you discover this thing called Agony resistance that will kill you when doing certain mechanics. Let's start with the personal fractal level, which increases every time you do a fractal above your current personal level by +1. In order to get to tier 4, you need to get your personal level to 71. Next up is the Agony resistance, which is something ArenaNet added way back in 2012 to limit players from going directly into tier 4 fractals without actually knowing the mechanics, and to make you actually craft the ascended armor and weapons. Fortunately, now you can get them from other places too. Now, this Agony damage hits you passively, and depending on your Agony resistance, it deals damage to you. If you see yellow in the fractal name when opening them, you can complete it with a bit of trouble, but if it's red, you'll be dead very fast. In order to increase it, you need to equip this Agony infusion item in your gear. I usually start with the rings as they can be attuned. This is a cheap process to add one more slot for Agony infusion for any ring, then you can infuse them for an extra slot and reach the maximum number of slots. The accessories have only one slot. The amulet doesn't have a slot for Agony infusions, and the backpack can have 2 if you infuse it, but that is very expensive. And the armor and weapons all have 1 slot, except two-handed weapons, which of course have 2 slots. To fill them, you need Agony infusions that need to be bought or crafted. In my case, I usually wait to gather 512 plus 1 Agony infusions and convert them to 2 plus 9, but you can buy plus 1 Agony infusions are theirs very cheap, or a plus 9 if you have more gold from the trading post, and this way I completely skip the crafting part. If you are unlucky and no ascended rings drop from the fractal chests while getting to level 20, you can buy them from the Laurel merchant in each big city. And I also recommend to buy the accessories for Laurels as well, because that means 2 more infusion slots. At fractal level 20, you'll need 8 Agony resistance. You can see in the top right corner the recommended amount of Agony resistance to survive the encounter. If you do not know the mechanics, like I said earlier, you can avoid some of them. And at 25, you need 17 Agony resistance. And as you can see, this gradually increases until you need 150 Agony resistance for level 100. By attuning and infusing the rings, you can get to 36 Agony resistance. And with the accessories, you get to 54. That should be enough for fractal level 46. If you get the Fractal Mastery Mistlock Singularities, you get plus 5 Agony resistance from the floating things before bosses. Add a Tears of Alba potion to increase that further to 74 AR, and you get a bit further into tier 3. and from here you can get ascended armor chests that drop, if you're lucky, which means more Agony slots. After you get used to tier 1 fractals, I recommend to start doing strikes, specifically the Easy tree from Eye of the North. As the name implies, they are very easy to complete and you can farm them every day for blue shards, which is the currency to buy the ascended armor and weapons from the NPC here. They are stat selectable, so you can use them for every build, but make sure you check which type of chests contain the combinations that you need. I have added links in the description for each type of chest. Now, all I can say is good luck in your fractal adventure, and I hope that this guide was useful for you. If you want to see more content like this, please let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the video, please click the like and subscribe buttons.